This video is brought to you in part by Games Rochester, LLC, Rochester, New York's friendly neighborhood game store. Check them out in the link in the description below. Hey everybody, welcome back. Another miniature painting video. Star Wars Legion. Haven't done this one yet. We've seen Warhammer, D&D, Age of Sigmar. Haven't seen Star Wars Legion yet. It's going to be my first Star Wars Legion painting here. Shooting this video in particular because my local game store, Just Games Rochester, they're hosting a painting contest right now in March 2021 for Star Wars Legion, similar to the great 2020 terrain contest that I did a few months ago for them. This time, Star Wars Legion minis. Wanted to submit those for a contest they're having running through March 15th. I think at the time this video coming out, there's probably a week left of this contest. They're allowing Legion submissions a chance to win the limited edition Luke Skywalker for the Commander expansion, that mini. It has to be painted within the last 12 months, or, you know, something that was painted just now, like you're going to see. We got the Stormtroopers here in front of us, and they're going to allow submissions of minis, custom terrain that's bought as part of Legion itself. So this is going to be a little bit more expanded than like the terrain-only contest we saw last time. Categories here: best painted, best overall painted mini, skill at a basic, painting a must. Hey, there's me. Extra points given for technique. They have theme, which is the best expression of a Star Wars theme. Diorama style picture of several minis. Could be a specific custom mini made from bits, a kit, and then they have best custom terrain, which we will not be painting terrain today. We're going to be painting the Stormtroopers here, but custom terrain. Show us the best piece of custom terrain that you have for Legion, fully painted and submitted. So that contest for my local game store, which this video is sponsored by, to enter the contest, you just got to email a picture of your entry to outreach@justgamesrock.com. That's justgamesroc.com. Subject line: Legion Painting Contest, and then the category name. And the categories are the best painted, theme, and custom terrain. Include your name and email. You have until March 15th, and then it goes to a public vote, all the pictures that come in, and the winner of each category does get that Luke Skywalker promo figure. So this is open to a lot of people that are into painting Legion stuff, that has stuff that they just painted, still playing the game. The full link to that article is in the description below, and good luck, everybody. So my local game store, Just Games Rochester, did supply me with the Stormtrooper pieces that we're going to be painting today. This was part of the demo kit that they had for a while, and those pieces all come in unpainted. You know, and they never had them painted. So they gave me some pieces to try out and submit myself. And, you know, I said, you know, I'm looking for something where I can put out in a video. It's kind of lower price point. You know, the Stormtrooper is pretty basic, and also maybe a lower painting difficulty. So Stormtroopers, right? Probably going to use just a few colors on some of these. You know, here's your basic one, right, with the gun, the running gun, a lot of white and some black here. We have our, we got the one with the little shoulder pad there, and then of course we have the classic biker on Endor. Give me some browns, blacks, whites. So we're going to paint all three of these today. And the first thing we got to do to get started is we're going to have to prime them. So I'm going to do the priming first. What I'm using today, similar to what I've used in priming all my videos, this is just the Rust-Oleum primer. You get that for, what, $3 at Home Depot. I have a white and a black, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be priming them black with then the light kind of white over it to try and get this gray prime. Now, I have shown the priming process in previous videos. In this video, I will not. I'm going to skip right ahead. So if you guys are interested in the priming process on video, I would recommend checking out one of my previous mini painting videos where you can see that. Other tools that I have today, I have the Army Painter wet palette, all prepped and ready. I have the Citadel base holder right there, and I got a number of colors that I'm going to go through as we go on. You can see we got the blacks and white. Actually, I think that the Corax white is going to be one of the ones we're going to use a lot today. I got that from the Space Marine set that I did probably, I think, last week. As well as we have a number of brushes here, Army Painter, Citadel. So let's go ahead and get started with the priming process. All right, now we're primed and ready to move forward. So you know what the crazy thing about Stormtroopers? Doesn't this like almost look done? So I went a little heavier on the white here. You can see, obviously, it's, look at that. See, so what had happened was coat of black underneath and then kind of a dusting of white on top, right? That is the priming process. Some of these, I mean, Stormtroopers are already pretty much kind of the white with the black, but, you know, it almost looks like they could, some people could spray paint a whole mess of these and call it done, but we're going to go ahead and go through our painting process now. So we'll start with the running gunner right here, right? Your basic Stormtrooper. This is what we're going to be working on first. And what I'm going to be using, let me grab... I'm going to grab the... What is this? Army Painter? The Wargamer Monster is what it's called. It's bright. Kind of a bigger brush here. And we have the Corax White from Citadel. Move that over a little bit. Yeah, let's just put some on the palette right here. This is the wet palette. You can tell, with a lot of these Citadel paints is it's going to be a little chunkier. Sorry, I have the light on the camera, so it might be a little bright right there. You see what the wet palette does is that it's going to break up some of the chunks, make it nice and smooth. So let's go with the Corax White here. And don't want to overload that brush, but we got it right on the palette. And what we're going to do is going to give this a nice base coat of the Corax White. All right, we have a base coat of Corax White on this one. And, I left a couple spots you can kind of see the black come through on the primer. And I think that adds... We're going to try and apply a wash to it, but we got to be really careful with the wash because any sort of dark wash can really make this look really dirty. So we have the base Corax White, and we let some black kind of bleed through a little shadow there, but we got that one done. Let's go ahead and while we have the Corax White, let's switch to our other... I'm going to switch to our other model here. Okay. Pick up the brush. Same thing. Base coat the Corax White. Gonna leave the gun untouched because the gun is gonna be it's gonna be a black. Doesn't necessarily need to be touched with the white. Alright, and we have our second model coated in the base coat of the Corax White. You see we kind of left the gun untouched there. The gun's gonna be a black. But we can go ahead and move to our black now. We are gonna be using... We're going to be using the Abaddon Black today, also from Citadel. And we don't need too much here. Just grab a piece, put it right here. And we're going to go ahead and paint both guns on both models. All right, we have both weapons painted the Abaddon Black, and just a couple other things we're going to do here. So we're going to paint the bases. We're going to paint the shoulder pad on this one, and then we are going to gingerly and gently try and apply a wash and not kind of make this too dirty looking with our dark wash, because we do want to bring out the shadow on the helmet and the belt and some of the places, but we don't want to overdo it. Let's go ahead and give it a try. What we're going to be using for the base is this one right here. Same thing we saw with the Space Marines. This is the Astro Granite. And if you look at this, it's much more coarse than some other paints. All right, look at how globby that is. Yeah, it's got like real pieces in it, really great for a base. I'm going to use kind of a rattier brush for the base here. Got this is another Army Painter Wargamer Regiment. I use this one a lot. This one's getting this one's on its way out. But if we put a glob of this here, look at this. Oh my gosh! We just put there we go, falling off. Just put some of that over here. You can look if you can see it kind of stick out on the palette. You just like the there we go. If the focus is there, yeah, you'll see that come through on the base. But if we go ahead and grab some of that, we can get this base done. Yeah, just mix it in with the wet a little bit, thin it down. And if you can see how we start applying, see the grittiness and the rough texture. You can actually see some pieces kind of rolling off it like that, that gritty kind of base. So this is a good base for these two models. We'll go ahead and paint this with the Astro Granite. All right, we got our bases done. Not bad. Yeah, pretty simplistic. base covering. It's got that grittiness, like I said, but if you're looking to go table ready, you're not adding too much additional things for it. The Astro Granite works pretty well. So we'll do that for these two. We're looking to be almost done. You can see they look pretty much, I mean, that's the great part about Stormtroopers. I'll say it again, you know, easy entry point into Star Wars Legion. Get yourself some Stormtroopers. It's really, you know, not too much pressure, not using so many crazy colors. One other thing I wanted to do before we start looking at it from a wash perspective is if we go back to this guy, I know that these guys with the shoulder pad, I think they're usually an orange. We're going to paint this in orange here. And it's usually just that one shoulder, right? So I do have a Citadel rat skin flesh, which is an orange. And what brush do I want to use for this? Give me, it's actually a Citadel starter brush, probably from a kit here. But we're just going to dip into the orange a little bit. And let's just put it right here. And we really don't need that much. Yeah. And it's kind of like crossing guard color is what we're going for here. So if we pick up this model and just put it right here on this shoulder pad. And it was that easy. So we got our orange shoulder on our guy. All right. I think we're ready to try washing. This makes me nervous because I'll show you guys a couple examples of me trying to get this right. So some people would argue against washing, don't touch it. Some people leave it at the primer. But I'm trying a few different things here. So I have an example of one that I finished the other night. And so this is after a dark tone. If you look at the helmet, I think that the helmet looks great. But you look at the rest and it looks like he just came out of the garbage chute, you know? So trying to get this right, and I think that the dark tone is the way to go, but I think we got to apply it very, very carefully. So let's go ahead and use, this is our Army Painter from the Army Painter Quick Shade set, the dark tone. And the wash, of course, much more liquid, much more viscous, couple drops right there. And what it's going to do is it's going to go over what's already painted. It's going to find the natural shadow. So what brush for the wash? We'll use this one here. But we got to be super, super careful. Because you can see it looks like it needs a little something else in terms of detail, right? But at the same time, don't want to go overboard. So let's see. I'm going to load this with the wash. I'm going to try and take most of it off. We got tons of palette to use. I never end up using the full palette. All right, now with what's barely left on here, let's see if we can get this helmet. You can see how, do you see how what it does? Finds the shadow. You can really keep kind of working it. But you see how it finds the shadow? It looks pretty nice. So I want to just try and find all the spots that I think really need shadow without making it look too dirty. There we go. I'm pretty happy with this one. I think we got just the right amount on that one. And, you know, don't be afraid to come back. If you think you put too much on, you can come back with the white, go back through. But I think that we got a pretty good distribution on this one. And that's a completed model. That's what we're looking at right now. So we have our two Stormtroopers done. And now all that's left is to paint the bike. Now this base is actually too big for the space holder, so I'm going to be holding this by hand. Primitive, no tools, just holding it by hand. So what we're gonna do with the bike is actually, you know, I was looking at this guy's outfit, and he actually has a significant amount of black on it. I think that all of the under the armor is black. So his goggles are black. Actually, the primer, I caught that pretty nicely already. And you see you got a vest here and some shoulder pads, gloves. And so the shirt and pants are going to be black. The boots will be white. And then actually this bike is going to be a brown, and all of the kind of gearing underneath it will be the black as well. So let's go ahead and start. I think the best thing to do is to start with the black. I'll keep using this brush. And what we're going to do is this thing is nice and primed. We're going to get the Abaddon black. And we're going to be painting We're going to paint these things here. Right, we're going to put some there. We're going to get the under gearing here, which is like this stuff and like this footrest. This is going to be brown and brown. And what we're going to do also with the black is you get right in here, we should be able to get this visor. And then we will also get the shirt is here. It actually goes all the way down to the gloves. The gloves are also black. All right, I think that's just about all the pieces we're going to paint with the black. We might have to come back, but we're going to be able to clean this up now with the white and the brown. We'll kind of see it all come together. So let's move on to the Corax white. Yeah, I'm going to need some more white on the palette. Notice that the white gets a little runnier quicker than the others. You kind of see it's kind of really made itself a home here on the palette. But we get a little more here. And we can start kind of applying around the helmet. We're going to do this jacket, the boots here. Don't want to overdo it. Don't want to obscure any detail here. But we'll see it on the boots. See it kind of through the back. And I don't think we might apply some white on the bike kind of a little later, but we're mostly going to do the armor just for now. All right, looks like we're where we want to be with the armor. We have the white and the black where we want it to be. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move forward. We're going to do the bike itself. So for that, we have a couple browns I was thinking about using. We have the Rhinox Hide Citadel. Citadels have been crowd favorite today. We also have, of course, the Rigid Leather Brown, which we've used in previous videos. Now, I've noticed that Rigid Leather is a little lighter than the Rhinox Hide. Wonder how dark the foundation will be on the bike, so then we can kind of maybe brush on some highlights. Also, I don't know if you see this sneaking around, but we have the Lauren Forest Green because, you know, in Endor, I'm thinking about trying to do grass stains or maybe just do the base of the green. So we'll splash a little green in there. And I do have the soft tone here as a potential wash option. And also I have this Karik Stone from Citadel, which is kind of a tan. And really I'm just kind of looking at that, that bag on the back for the tan. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get some Rhinox Hide. And we are going to get started on our bike. Rhinox Hide. Put that right over here. Come to the model. Let's see how this looks. We just put that right here. Yeah, that's going to be a great foundation. I'm going to put that right over the front. We're also going to paint these. Yeah, that's going to be a good color there. Here we are with the brown and a little more black applied to the bottom. One thing about the speeder is it doesn't have to look pristine, you know, similar to some other things that we painted in the past. It can look kind of beat up. So a couple more things here we're going to do is we're going to paint this bag here at the end. And then we'll see about painting the bottom kind of a green and see if we can't splash some green and some highlights all over the bike. I don't think I'm going to wash this this trooper. I think that he looks good as is. So let's go ahead and make some changes to the bike. We have the Karik Stone, which we're going to use for the bag. And this one, you can actually see this is also pretty globby. So this is where the wet palette really, really helps thin out those paints. Probably don't need more than that. Slab a coat of green on the base. Using the Lauren Forest Green. Actually, we can get a messier brush here. Let's use something like this. Actually, you know what? We don't really need to thin this because we're looking at the base. So we could actually probably just take this right out of the pot. But I put it on the palette here, but let's see what that looks. Yeah, that Endor kind of forest green right there. Perfect. Nice, easy coat of the base. Putrid Slime from the Underdark paint set. That's like a yellowish green. We're going to put that on the base. And what else do we have? You know what? I think we're just going to do a little Corax white here. And we're just going to do just a little light dry brushing on the bike. Let's start with the bike here. Corax white, whatever's kind of left. Let's see if we can't just kind of skirt some detail across the bike here. A little more off. But this is supposed to kind of represent just kind of dings and scratches. Yeah, look at that. Kind of a little scraped up. Pretty nice. Cool. Just all you need. And Putrid Slime. This one, whoa, really take that off. So it's almost like mustard. Yeah, you can add all sorts of little terrain there if you'd like. But I think we're going to call this done. So there you have it, guys. A little bit of Star Wars Legion painting today. We have our Endor biker, and then we have our 2 Stormtroopers. And I think we really kind of nailed the wash on this one. Not too dirty. You can see the eyes. You can see kind of the mask here. This one, yeah, a little hit or miss. A little hit or miss. You can see it kind of looks like we over-applied it in the belt a little bit, and the helmet is not quite what we were looking for, but this one looks pretty good. And particularly happy with this one. And this was with no wash, our biker. Well, guys, once again, this was part of my local game store's Star Wars Legion painting contest that they have going on right now through March 15th. To enter, you just got to email a photograph of your entry to outreach@justgamesrock.com. That's justgamesroc.com. Subject line, Legion Painting Contest. Category name, include your name and email. Now, the categories are Best Painted, Theme, and Custom Terrain. So with the last one, they had just turn it in at the store. But this one, actually, they're just requesting that you email them a picture. So I don't want to say that this is, you don't have to be local necessarily to enter this. But you do have until March 15th to get those in. And the top person in each category does win the Luke Skywalker promo mini. And it's going to go to a public vote once the pictures are in. So hope you guys check that out. I hope I kind of showed you guys how easy it is, kind of jump right in. If you got models, you got custom terrain. Obviously, Stormtroopers, easy one to paint. And even the bike, we found that was relatively easy and it looks pretty nice. So if you guys like this video, please feel free to hit the like button. Do you like the mini painting stuff? You want me to keep it coming? I certainly love doing it for you guys. And I'll catch you guys later. See ya.